Welcome to All Grown Up Now, Tales of a Checkered Past. I'm Kenneth D. King, podcasting from my studio near Union Square in New York City. This podcast is an evolution of the tale, All Grown Up Now, A Friendship in 3 Acts. This is Season 2, and it's called Tales of a Checkered Past. It's a collection of short stories from my salad days on up to the present. In each podcast, another self-contained story will be presented. These podcasts will be broadcast bi-weekly, so you get 2 a month. Enjoy. I'm giving you a late summer rerun of a request. This is Jet Set starring Patty. Another one of the strong women who populate my life is a gal named Patty. I met Patty in the late 1990s in my studio in San Francisco. She was brought there by my friend Gaynell, who at the time was George Lucas's PR person. Gaynell knew Patty from an event she had done that Patty had attended. Patty at the time was riding a wave of fame. She had a Grammy-nominated club CD out and was making the rounds, promoting and performing. The album was called Jet Set. Patty is what Barbie wanted to be as a grown-up. Well-traveled, speaks several languages, Upper East Side, married well, great clothes, and flies to points all over the world on private jets. Jet Set. A description is in order here. She's tall, she's blonde, she's a size 0 with a considerable and real rack. Patty's voice is a classic whiskey and cigarettes rasp, and her conversational style is witty, idiosyncratic, and machine gun rapid. It was the combination of her voice and her way of communicating that got her the Disco Diva gig. It seems that one time when she was in Aspen, she and her husband have a house there. Doesn't everybody? Jet Set. When some of her hip and beautiful young friends asked her to visit the recording studio. When she arrived, they put her in the recording booth and said, "Talk," which she did. Entertaining, rapid fire on a variety of topics that the beautiful people discussed. Bodyguards, security, private jets, the different cities where she and her crowd would meet. You know, Jet Set. These kids mixed it to a club beat, and a star was born. Over the years, when I visited New York on business, Patty and I would meet, generally for lunch. I remember the first time I understood just how people for whom English is not their first language felt. It was at lunch with Patty in a rather loud Midtown restaurant, and Patty was telling a rather entertaining story at her machine gun pace. The combination of the noise and the rapid-fire talking made me really have to focus and concentrate, and it was indeed like I was listening to another language. That was the language of Patty's New York. On this CD, the club kids managed to exactly capture the sound of Patty that day at lunch. Over the years, Patty acquired some of my pieces, which she could wear to good advantage, what with her figure. When I finally moved to New York in 2004, I got to see her actually wear them in her natural setting, sometimes at home for dinner at their apartment on the Upper East Side, sometimes at events. One such dinner featured a big surprise. My dinner partner would be no other than Barbie Benton. Now, for our younger listeners, Barbie Benton in the 70s was a Playboy playmate and girlfriend of Hugh Hefner. She was a big damn deal. She still looks amazing, by the way. During dinner, I learned that Barbie sewed her own clothes for years before she became famous. She regaled me with descriptions of her prom dresses. All in all, I liked her. She was just a regular gal, but still part of the jet set. Over the years, I've had many other adventures with Patty. When she gives me a cryptic invitation, I know it's going to be interesting at the very least. One afternoon, she called me up and said, "Hello, Kenneth, this is Patty. Come to my apartment at 11 o'clock next Wednesday morning and wear a suit." "Okay," I said. Patty commanded. I obeyed. So I put on a suit and appeared that next Wednesday morning at 11 o'clock, only to find the entire place in pandemonium. There was a caterer running around, hired help setting tables, and Patty was in a state. "So what's going on?" I asked. Patty picked up the Times off the dining room table and pointed to an article on the front page. "This," she rasped. The article read, "The only appearance that Michelle Obama will be making in New York on this trip is at the home of..." And I looked at her and said, "She's coming here?" Inside my head, I was screaming like a little girl. "Yeah," Patty rasped. "So I needed reinforcements." She drew back the curtains to point out the TV news trucks with the antennas sitting outside. I had obliviously walked past them on my way in. So that day, I was one of the people that helped out on this fundraiser for Obama. Just to keep a lookout on things, I was assigned to open the door on the second floor to let her in when she arrived. As the excitement was building and I was keeping a lookout on things, Patty's niece, Andrea, arrived. Now, Andrea came in from Harvard for this event. Andrea's really smart, no doubt, Harvard, you know, but not what you would call fashion savvy. She showed up wearing low-slung jeans and a very tight t-shirt, and her rack, which resembled her aunt's, entered the room well before she did. Patty went white. I ran over and said, "Hey, Andrea, you can't have those out, girl. This is a political event. We got to cover those up. They're too distracting. Let's go into Patty's closet." After ransacking Patty's living room-sized walk-in closet, to my surprise, we actually found a decent, sensible navy blazer among all of the avant-garde couture. So, crisis averted, Andrea was decently clad, just in time for Michelle Obama to knock on the door. I opened the door to see this very tall, very beautiful, amazing woman. She smiled her dazzling Michelle Obama smile at me. And the rest, they say, is history. I was one of the many people there who were charmed by the beauty, poise, and intelligence of Mrs. Obama. She made the case for her husband, and from then on, I was a supporter. My thought was, if she's this smart, he's secure with a smart woman, and he must be equally smart. Later, Patty and I surveyed the damage to her closet from all of the rummaging to find something to cover Andrea's considerable rack. "Thanks for that," she rasped. "Anything for an adventure," I replied. "You didn't give me a warning on this?" "Oh, I didn't tell you?" She grinned. "Sorry."
Oh, now they have a special number. That's quick.
Nothing
That's
like
really
vanity.
quick.
Maybe we should talk about Paris. They're all very fast.
Another event Patty invited me to started with yet another cryptic invitation. Patty called and said, "Hello, Kenneth, this is Patty. Meet me at 28th and Lex wearing a suit at 9:30 this evening." "Okay, I'll play," I said. "What's the deal?" "Oh, it's a little event for Cartier." "Oh," I said. "Great, see you then." So that evening, I arrived in front of the Armory on Lexington and 28th wearing a suit. Now, it looked like a big damn deal. There was an honest-to-God red carpet, complete with photographers and security people with headsets and celebrities strolling up the carpet into the horde of photographers. Flashes of light, air kisses, the beautiful people. Jet set. And then upstrode a vision. Amanda Lepore. Now, I'd seen photos of Amanda Lepore in the papers and in the magazines, but I had never seen the gal in person. Wow. Amanda was wearing a robin's egg blue halter dress with her blonde cotton candy hair and her enhanced lips. I noticed a strange thing about the halter dress, though. On most women, the halter portion of the dress lies smoothly against the upper chest. Amanda's, however, didn't. There was daylight under the strap where it lifted off her breasts and anchored to her neck. I was reminded of the suspension cables on the Brooklyn Bridge. Strange.
Why do you think it's strange?
Security guys at first regarded her as a crasher. I could tell by the way they looked at her. But when she walked, well sashayed, up to the red carpet and was greeted by the doorman, they relaxed. And then came Patty. Patty was wearing one of my pieces and looking her usual fabulous self. She swept up to me, took my arm, and pulled me up the red carpet. Now, I had never walked a red carpet before, and I got disoriented by all the cameras flashing and stopped. I've never seen the photos, but I'm sure I look like a deer in the headlights. Having done this many times over, Patty reached behind her to grab me, pulled me close, turned me to face the camera, and, as the cameras still flashed, said in her raspy voice to the press person, "Hello, I'm Patty Findlay. I'm wearing Kenneth D. King. Here's the designer himself." At that point, a man with a headset rushed up and said, "Ooh, Mrs. Findlay, you're in the VIP section. Right this way." And we swept into the room. The event was a product launch. It seems Cartier was launching a new Santos watch, and all the celebrities were out in force to see it. Patty knew many of them and introduced me around. One guy she introduced me to was Russell Simmons, the rapper, which I found out later. I had no idea who he was because I live in a cave, and he could sense it. He did not seem amused. Later in the evening, I got to see his wife Kimora Simmons at close range, or rather, it was her gigantic diamond I got to see at close range. It was about the diameter of a quarter. The place was absolutely packed with people I'd seen in Vanity Fair. It was fun people watching. Jet set. After the event, Cartier had a DJ, and the place turned into a dance party. That's when I saw Amanda Lepore again. This time, she had pulled the halter aside, exposing her breasts. She was dancing, and mysteriously, her breasts moved in unison with her torso like a display mannequin. Turning to Patty, I asked, "Hey, I don't have much experience with those things, but aren't they supposed to move at least a little?" Patty threw her shoulders back, looked at me, and said in her raspy voice, "The real ones do." And then she laughed. Jet set.
Take off, land, go off. Private jet. I was on a private jet before that. Private jet. Lot of privacy. It's attainable. Private jet. Travel society. Private jet. I'll live dangerously. Take that back. Take that back. Take that back. Take that back. You're in the air.
Thanks for listening. You can get the audiobook All Grown Up Now on iTunes, Audible, and Amazon, or from my website, allgrownupnow.com. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play. If you have any questions, you can reach me through the website allgrownupnow.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Kenneth D. King, on Facebook at Kenneth D. King Design, or on my main website, KennethDKing.com.